Hi, my name is Jennifer Stewart. I'm doing this video because I have honestly had so many people that have reached out to me over the last few days, um, and I just have not been able to get back to everybody. So I decided that I would do a video so that I can send the video out to everybody. They can hear my story, and then I can chat with them afterwards. And I think it'll be a little bit better use of my time, and hopefully I can get my story across to you a little bit better. So, like I said, I'm Jennifer Stewart. You can call me Jen. I'm 50 years old. I am happily married to a wonderfully supportive husband. I have 6 kids, all of which are grown up and left the house except for the youngest boy, who is 16, and 3 grandkids. So what I want to tell you about is my story with fibromyalgia, sort of about how I got fibromyalgia, or when I got fibromyalgia, and what I've done since then. And hopefully the story will maybe give you some ideas, maybe awaken you to some things that you hadn't thought of before, or bring back some things that you've been thinking of and realize maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because I know for me, I didn't see one for the longest time. So anyways, about 14 years ago, my husband and I had just finished building a house. That we had bought a piece of land, built a house, actually hands-on built a house with our 6 kids helping out. And it was time for us to go back to work. So what happened is we actually had somebody approach us and say that they had a business that maybe we would like to buy. And we listened to them and thought, okay, this is a great idea. We would have our own business, our own job, and not be working for somebody else. And the business was a commercial janitorial business. Well, we knew nothing about cleaning, except for cleaning our own house. And but we had other businesses, small businesses we'd kind of run over the years ourselves, and we thought, why not? Let's jump on in with it. So we bought the business, and we both went straight to work on it. And within 3 months, I noticed I really wasn't feeling great. I kind of seemed to have a lot of headaches, and my stomach seemed to be more upset, and I just didn't have a ton of energy. Didn't really think anything of it, thought maybe I was kind of, running myself down or catching a cold or something. And then after 6 months, my husband got really sick. I mean, seriously sick. He started coughing, couldn't stop coughing. We had to call an ambulance, and they brought him into the hospital. They found out that he had actually coughed so hard that he had broken all of his ribs. And they took him in, did a whole bunch of tests, x-rays. They said they really didn't know what was wrong with him, but they actually told us to prepare to maybe get the family in because they weren't sure if he was going to make it. Sorry. And so luckily he did pull through, but it was 6 weeks before he was released from the hospital. And when he was released, give me a second. When he was released, he had lost half of his lung function in both lungs, half of his lung capacity, and they later realized that his bone marrow was severely damaged. So he went home from the hospital, spent most of his time in bed, and eventually we had to bring oxygen in, and he was on oxygen, not 24 hours a day, but a large chunk of the time he was on oxygen at home and using puffers and nebulizers. And it was quite normal for our kids to come home from school to an ambulance in the driveway with them, taking their dad away again. So next 10 years, this was life. Shortly after he got home, I was feeling so bad. I went in and saw the doctor, and I actually got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So we had 10 years of, pardon my language, but living hell at home. My husband was in bed most of the time, struggling. We had our youngest kids, who were, I think at the time, about 4 and 6, spending a lot of their time in bed visiting with dad and taking care of him and helping him put the oxygen on and calling me if he was struggling or calling an ambulance for him. I tried to work as best as I could, which ended up being usually only a couple of days a week. The rest of the time I was in bed. Some days I was worse than him, and he'd have to carry me to the bathroom because I couldn't even walk. And meanwhile, we had 6 kids at home. The older kids were kind of trying to work a little bit part-time and work a little bit in the business to help out. The middle kids were kind of taking care of the younger kids and the house and making meals and helping out with everything else. It was really a massively dysfunctional, functional mess, and that was our lives. And I saw no way out of it. If I hadn't had the kids and my husband there, I don't think I would have made it through. So, sorry about this. I eventually, about 4 years ago, I hired a new staff member because we were lucky to have a few staff that kind of kept the business running. And this lady noticed how I was struggling, and she asked if she could talk to me. And she said that I know some people that you should talk to. She says they might actually be able to help you a little bit. And I was willing, honestly, to talk to her, listen to anybody that had an idea. I was on every medication under the sun, stuff for fibromyalgia, opiate pain medication, was on sleeping pills, I was on anti-anxiety medications, long-term chronic pain management medicine, and all it did was make me foggy, unable to really think. I probably really never should have been driving on all of that medication, and it really didn't seem to make me feel much better at all. So I said, yep, definitely, anything you can suggest, I'm willing to listen to. And so she invited me over to her mom's house, actually. And there was, I think, about 6 ladies or so that were there. And they were all talking, and they're talking about all these natural supplements and things they were taking. And I'm kind of going, okay, I can, get into that. I understand sort of where you're coming from. Because the prescribed stuff I was doing wasn't doing anything. So natural, sure, sounds good. And then they said, okay, come sit down. And they got this box, and it had like 10 oils in it. And they started talking about all these oils, essential oils, and what they did. Like they helped them with headaches and sleeping and sore muscles and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are crazy. Like, they're insane. What am I doing here? But for like over a half hour or 45 minutes, they're talking, and they're all telling their own stories. Oh, I did this, and this helped me with this, and this helped my sister, and this helped my daughter, and this helped my... And I'm going, maybe they're not crazy. Like, what if these things actually did work? And I was so desperate to try anything because nothing I was using was working. I got these oils, and I took this box home and went, okay, I've got them, now I've got to use them. And I literally used them for everything they had been talking about. If I had, an ouch, an ow, a cut, a headache, a sore anything or whatever, I went, oh, they said use this, use this, use it. And I just literally used all these oils because I figured I bought them, I might as well use them. And after about a month, I kind of went, you know what? I'm really not having headaches as badly anymore. And I mean, my headaches were so bad that I used to take 10 to 20 Tylenol and ibuprofen and naproxen every single day just to function, to get through the headaches. But the headaches just didn't seem to really be that bad or bothering me that much anymore. And after 3 months of me using these oil things, I realized I wasn't having headaches at all anymore. And I went, there's obviously something that's working here. So I knew I really had to start looking into this and researching it. So I went back, talked to them again. They said, we have a couple of classes here we want you to come out to and listen to other people and learn some things. So I did, and they started talking about chemicals and how chemicals affect us. And I'm like, okay, they're talking about, how your household cleaners have got the skull and crossbone things on them. Yes, obviously that is toxic, not good, so that makes sense, okay. They said, but actually our bodies are just only able to take so much. And if you think about it in your own life, you're only able to take so much before you reach a breaking point, and then you explode. And our bodies are kind of the same thing. We can only take so much chemicals before our bodies go, you know what? We don't know what to do with this stuff anymore, and they just shut down. And they said it was, there's chemicals in everything. Chemicals in our household cleaners, the air fresheners, our laundry soap, our dish soap, our hand soap, our shampoo, our toothpaste, and body wash. And I'm like, okay, this actually somehow crazily made sense to me. So what I did is I actually, after using these oils and they worked, I went, okay, fine. They said, well, you could get some of these natural plant-based products, and they're safe and healthier for you, and they actually have oils in them too, so they're good for you. And I went, okay. So I started off by changing out my household cleaner. I had a janitorial company, used lots of cleaners, kind of made sense to me. So I did that first, and it was a plant-based, actually smelled not bad, kind of smelled like Christmas spice. And I used it not only at home, but I actually started using it at my business. So in sort of one big fell swoop, I got rid of a whole bunch of chemicals all at once because I wasn't using any of those skull and crossbone things to clean my house or to clean any of the buildings I was cleaning. And within a month or two, I started noticing I'm actually starting to feel a bit better. Like, I really am not feeling nearly as sick. And so I just started one thing at a time each month, adding one or two new things to my house that were plant-based and clean and not toxic, and getting rid of the crappy stuff, until I kind of had changed just about everything in my house out, right down to my face moisturizer. So I did that, and after about 6 months, I was noticeably feeling better. And after 1 year, I was doing so well that I actually went to my doctors and said, look, I'm really doing good here, and I want to try getting off my medication. And I thought they were going to say, no, wait, you're never getting off of this stuff. And they said, no, we actually do realize you are doing a lot better. And if you want to try getting off all your meds, you can go ahead and try it. And I said, yeah, I really do. I want to try. And I went cold turkey. Don't suggest that to anybody, but I did. I went cold turkey off of absolutely everything. The sleeping medication, the opiate pain pills, the anti-anxiety medication, everything. I stopped it. And for 2 weeks, my body went through massive withdrawal. It was awful. But once I did get through that, within the next couple of months, after the next month to two, I could literally feel my body, like, it just felt like it was healing. It was getting better. And it's been 2 years now, and I haven't taken anything. I don't even take a Tylenol. Nothing. No over-the-counter, no prescribed medicine. And I am clearer. I have way more energy. I feel better. My kids say, Mom, you look good again. You don't look like death warmed over. You're not coming home and you're not crying and you're not in bed, and we can do things with you, and I have my life back. I can go out and play with my grandkids. I can take the dogs for a walk. I can do the things I really love. I can go paddle boarding. I can go kayaking. I can jump on my bike with my youngest son and go ride the trails in the forest. And it's absolutely so wonderful. I have hope for the future again. So it's not one thing. And this is what people always go, what's your secret? What's your secret? What can I take? What's the magic pill? It isn't. There is no magic pill. It's a complete lifestyle change that I went through. I started by listening to these ladies who were crazy, talking about these oils and things, took a leap of faith and actually started trying them. They seemed to be starting to help, and then I realized to get rid of all these chemicals out of my lifestyle. And because I started feeling better, I started exercising more. I started doing yoga right away because it was something very gentle I could do, just breathing exercises and some stretching. And then I increased upon that, started doing a little bit of gentle weightlifting, and then I was able to go out and start walking more and cycling and kayaking and all of these things. And the more I did, the more I was able to do. And of course, the big part of it is food, eating. All of our food is laden with chemicals, all the processed crap that we eat in packages and in boxes and all this stuff. And all of the fruits and vegetables even is sprayed with Roundup and toxins and everything else. So that's a whole nother, I could talk for an hour on that one. But honestly, you need to eat real food. If you don't recognize what it is, like a chicken or a tomato, or if you don't recognize it, don't eat it. And eat as good a quality food as you could possibly get your hands on. Organic, but find the farms. Know where you're getting your stuff from. Go meet the farmers. Go see if he's wearing a white suit and a mask and everything else and spraying. If he is, don't eat the food. So yeah, getting into a healthier lifestyle. And then another big part of that is looking at all the alternatives, things that are natural. If you're into chiropractors, if you're into acupuncture, if you're into Reiki, if you're into healing touch, if you're into, I looked into tapping. It's all about you, like tap on different points of your body, and it helps to relieve stress. And I struggled with PTSD from an accident and stuff, and anything, whatever works for you, you need a toolbox of a whole bunch of healthy tools that you can put in there. So it's all of that. And then mindset. Honestly, when I was not doing well, I mean, my mind went places where it should never have gone. And now I surround myself with positive people. I go all over the internet and I have all this positive mindset stuff. And that's what I have. I have quotes on the walls and I have quotes everywhere. And I write in a gratitude journal talking about all the things I'm grateful for, and just how grateful I am for the life that I do have. So it's a whole bunch of things. It's not one thing, and it's a process. It took me well over a year to get to the point where I could get off of my medication. And I'm not saying that you can all get off your medication, but if you can even feel better and maybe be able to get off some of the ones that are more toxic and more damaging for your body, because I do believe that a lot of the stuff that we're given is just a band-aid and it's masking the things, it's not helping things. So anyways, I think I've talked way too long already. I hope you got some value out of this. And after you're done this, please message me back, let me know, and then I would really like to be able to chat with you a little bit more about everything. And if there's anything you have any questions about, and if you do want to kind of follow part of the process I went through, I can point you in the direction of what I've done, where I've gone, where I've gotten things and stuff like that. Because if you go willy-nilly out there trying to buy natural products and buy natural cleaners and buy essential oils and things like that, there's so much crap out there. Honestly, there's like almost no regulation on all of this stuff. Things can say they're pure and clean and 100% and therapeutic and all of this stuff, and pure, and they can be filled with toxic chemicals. So I can tell you about the research I've done and the places I've gone and the things I've tried and what has worked and what hasn't worked. So anyways, I am so grateful that you were able to sit through this. I'm sorry it was so long. I'm Jen, and I can't wait to get to meet you and see if there's anything I can do to help you. Love y'all. Bye-bye.